Do you make these common breakfast mistakes? In our decades of experience, these 6 breakfast mistakes come up over and over again. So today we're going to share not only the mistakes, but also what to do about it. So stay tuned.
Get in, definitely.
Air versus soreness. Also, eating too much processed sugar. I'm Jane, and I'm here with Stephanie, and we help women over 50 stop yo-yo dieting in a healthy, sustainable way and just feel good in their bodies again. Now, if you haven't seen our video yet on why your first meal of the day is so important, please be sure to check that out first. And as we mentioned in that video, it's so important that your initial meal of the day consists of nutritious foods that are going to set your healthy tone for the whole day and keep you satisfied for at least a few hours. So before we get into the mistakes, we wanted to cover some brief guidelines on what to include in a healthy breakfast and why. So first off, we have protein. Protein is far and away the most satiating nutrient. It's also really important for muscle preservation and has all the amino acids for your neurotransmitters that are great for the brain. Then we have fat. Healthy fats not only have a great mouthfeel, but they help hold you over. They also fuel the brain and are good for memory. And they're very important at helping absorb all your fat-soluble vitamins. So that's vitamin A, vitamin D, E, and K. We have high fiber foods that are mostly contained in our wholesome carbohydrates. These good quality carbohydrates are also loaded with plant chemicals called antioxidants. They provide tons of energy. And as long as you keep the portion controlled for weight management, they can be a really essential part of a good breakfast. Okay, so now let's dive into the first breakfast mistake that we often see, and that is women using those instant oatmeal packets. So we know why cereals, both hot and cold, are so popular at breakfast. I mean, everybody loves quick and easy, and what's easier than just ripping open a package of instant oats? But the problem is that the foods in the packets are most of the time overly processed, and they don't offer much in the way of nutrition, or they could be overly sweetened. Even an organic packaged oatmeal can have up to 13 grams of sugar in one serving, which is over 3 teaspoons. The other issue is that they may not contain enough protein or fat to keep you satisfied. Most often they don't. So those are all things to consider, and you often could be very hungry right after this quick meal. So the fix is that you can absolutely still have your oatmeal. We love oats, but you need to get the protein, fat, fiber. So here's a few ways to do that. So first of all, avoid the really quick cooking oats because they're broken up so much, they don't provide as much a feeling of fullness. So you're looking for rolled oats or steel cut oats. These are going to have some fiber, but even getting more fiber in is better. So if you're adding some berries like raspberries or blackberries and also ground flax seeds, that can add an extra 7+ grams of fiber to this breakfast. For protein, you can consider tossing in a tablespoon or 2 of hemp seeds, which is amazing protein and fat, or a tablespoon or 2 of a clean protein powder. Fat can be provided by flax seeds, hemp seeds, or even other nuts or seeds like pumpkin seeds or walnuts, or you can swirl in some natural peanut butter or almond butter, which will deliver good fat and a little protein too. Again, look for no added sugar, and you can add in some berries or apple if you want a little natural sweetness or a little sliced banana. And if you still need some sweetness, just sweeten it naturally. A teaspoon of honey, a teaspoon of maple syrup, or something like monk fruit, or a few drops of stevia could also be a good option. We like Kia oatmeals. If you've ever seen those, QIA, they're packed with oats and seeds and make really good overnight oats. And with that in mind, there's always the chia pudding option. We often include some chia seeds with our overnight oats where you can combine the two together. And that provides more fat and fiber and protein to keep you fueled.
All right, and the next common mistake we see is having just a bowl of cold cereal for breakfast. So, okay, we get it. Cereal, throwing a bowl of cereal together is so quick and easy. It can really be delicious. I have to admit, I was a cereal junkie for years, but they can be overly processed. They don't provide much protein or fat, if at all. And a lot of times they have a lot of sugar in that. When we do see the ones that are higher protein cereals, they're often soy protein isolate, which can be really processed and a junky form of protein and often contains GMOs. So we're not a fan of that. However, there is a fix for this. There are not many great options of cold cereals, but there are a few. The key is to find a decent brand Use a smaller amount in your bowl and complement it with fruit or nuts or seeds or something like that that is going to up the nutrient intake. So one option we like is a cereal called Love Grown. That's a brand that's made, they use bean flour. The plain one has no added sugar. They have some sweetened ones which have, I think, about 8 grams of sugar per cup. So you could really do a combination, just use half of each. And then you can have some sweet and some plain, and combined you'll never know the difference. And then just as I said, add some nuts or seeds or fruit to round it out and you're good to go. Another great brand is 3 Wishes, and this uses monk fruit as a sugar alternative, which we're fine with. It's in a base of chickpeas and pea protein. It actually has 8 grams of protein per serving. So you could check them out. And again, when you're using that, just cut back on the cereal a little bit, add some nuts and seeds and some fruit, and it's a great balance. And also, pay attention to the kind of milk that you're putting in your cereal, because we really like to see healthy, clean milk. If it's going to be dairy milk, you want it to be from grass-fed cows if possible. Moving on to the next mistake is smoothies. So smoothies sound really healthy, and they certainly can be, but we often see people making the mistake of throwing in just a ton of frozen fruit, no protein or possibly a yucky protein powder, no fat, no veggies, and sometimes they use juice such as orange juice as the liquid for blending, which is filled with a ton of sugar. But it's great. There's an easy fix. I'm such a smoothie fan. All you need to do is change it up a little bit. So get a really good high quality protein powder, put some greens in it, round it out so it's more filling, add some healthy fat like avocado or some nut butter, and stick with water or unsweetened plant milk. You can really play around with this, try all different varieties. A lot of times people would put just spinach in, but it doesn't have to be spinach. Think of things like arugula or celery or cucumbers. Change it up so you're not having the same thing every day and you're getting lots of variety. Also play with the colors in the smoothie. Yeah, sometimes I make a red smoothie where I'll have more raspberries and a red pepper, or a green smoothie, which is easy using lots of greens. And there's just so many varieties. So think all the different colors, think all different kinds of nutrients, and make it fun and enjoy it. One of the ways I love to eat smoothies is as a smoothie bowl. So I will make mine a little thicker, a little with less liquid, and then I eat it with the spoon. So I just feel like I'm getting more food and I actually chew it.
Our fourth mistake is low-fat yogurts. And we're going to put cottage cheese in this category too, just because we want to talk a little bit about low-fat and fat-free dairy. So the mistake most women make is that they go for these fat-free or really low-calorie dairy products for breakfast. And the issue here is that many of them are artificially sweetened brands. Dannon Light, Yoplait Light, they can have a lot of chemicals, food dyes sometimes, and they're just honestly not very filling. They lack fiber, there may be a little bit of protein, but there's, again, no fat. So here's the fix. First of all, we want to upgrade the dairy to something organic, preferably grass-fed. Yogurt and cottage cheese, specifically Greek yogurt, can have wonderful amounts of protein. So it's a great way, if you tolerate dairy, to get protein in the morning. And again, go for full fat or 2% at the least. Studies have shown that the fat quality in dairy is not going to affect cholesterol levels and is so much more satisfying. If you've ever just compared a skim versus a fuller fat product, the mouthfeel is amazing. You can also look for yogurts that have goat milk or use sheep yogurt, which we really like a lot. And we recommend choosing unflavored yogurts because that's going to avoid any excess sugar. You can add up to 1 teaspoon of a natural sweetener of your choice, a tiny bit of maple syrup, a little bit of raw honey, a little monk fruit, or a little stevia. And you can include some fresh fruit, of course. We encourage fresh fruit with the yogurt or cottage cheese, some berries, chopped apple, a little pineapple. You're going to get fiber and extra nutrients. Adding a handful of nuts or seeds is going to give you extra fat and protein. Again, we want this first meal to be filling and well-rounded to hold you. We also love adding ground flax to either of these. It gives you extra fiber. They're so good for hormone balancing and digestive support. So please avoid those skimpy, low-fat, fat-free yogurts and get a better breakfast with a fuller fat and more well-rounded dairy. Our fifth mistake comes in the form of breakfast bars. So there are so many junky bars out in the supermarkets these days. We are looking at Nutri-Grain, Belvita. They lack protein, they lack fiber, they lack any source of good fat. And sometimes when the bars do have protein, it's from a more processed form like isolated whey or soy. So we want to stay away from those. The fix for this, if you're on the go, one of our favorite bars, which can be for breakfast or other snack or other time of the day, would be Aloha bars. Pair that with a portable piece of fruit like a banana or an apple or a pear or a few grapes or a clementine, and you have a pretty well-rounded breakfast that's really quick and easy. So Aloha bars are at 14 grams of protein. They deliver 11 grams of fiber. They've got several grams of fat. They're just really satisfying and will definitely hold you over for a couple hours.
All right, and the final mistake we see so often is people having just plain egg whites for breakfast, maybe with a piece of toast. And when you have the egg whites, you're not, it's only protein. It's a good protein, no question about that. But if you don't have enough fat, you're going to be hungry in a short term later. And again, you're not getting many nutrients other than the protein. So easy fix to upgrade those eggs is, well, first of all, add the whole egg. Don't worry about the egg yolks. There's great nutrition in the egg yolks, like choline and other vitamins that you can only get from egg yolks. So a lot of good nutrition in the yolks. And then you can add some veggies like arugula or add avocado, so you're getting your good healthy fat in there. And you don't have to worry so much about eggs. It got a bad rap for years. However, we don't encourage having them every single day because we do see people develop sensitivities to them when you eat them too often. So maybe once or twice a week or even 3 times a week, have some eggs with some veggies and a good healthy fat. And you'll notice that they will keep you fuller longer. All right, we have one bonus breakfast idea for you, and it's not from a mistake, or the mistake could be not thinking outside the box for breakfast. So we have in our minds what should be breakfast, the cereals, the eggs, the things like that. But what about having leftover dinners for breakfast? Chances are your dinner is nice and balanced, it's hearty, and it's going to hold you longer. So put aside those extra dinner portions and save it for breakfast. And one great thing is it's super fast because it's already cooked. So let us know in the comments below some of your favorite breakfast go-tos. We have a bunch of breakfast resources and we're going to link to them in the comments below, so be sure to check them out. So upgrading your meals and habits is a few of the challenges that we cover in our intensive 3-month Simply Nourished program. And there we'll walk you through whatever challenges you have when it comes to healthy eating. So if you are frustrated with going on and off diets, you really should check this out. We'll put a link below, but this is really a comprehensive holistic program. So we'll put a link and then you can see if this is right for you. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and also subscribe and click the bell to be notified. And check out our next video with even more tips on living healthy after 50.